What's up, everybody? This is Brad from the Rules of Villainy podcast, or as you may know me, the Mayor of Lorcana, coming at you with another local meta report here in St. Louis, Missouri, going over the last week of constructed Disney Lorcana and showcasing the great players and great stores that we have to play the game in here locally. So that being said, we have 7 different decks to go through today, so let's not waste any time and just get right into it, shall we? All right, our first deck of the day should come of no surprise to you if you've been following this video series at all. As we start at Grapes Games on Sunday afternoon, we have Jimmy at the top of the list, who's been a frequent visitor of my meta reports with different decks, I think, every time. He's that good. Very good player. This time he's doing it with an Amethyst Emerald Diablo deck, which has been popping up quite a bit in the Lorcana community and looks like it's a lot of fun. I had to play against somebody else's, and did not have a good time, but I was also playing a completely off meta Queen of Hearts deck that is also very, very fun, but I just could not keep up with these evasive birds and the discard package that it brings with it. We've known Diablo for several sets now to sit out there essentially untouched while the Ursulas and the Hypnotizes and the Sudden Chills get the removal songs out of your hands, and the bird just sits there and draws with you every turn until you can find an evasive way or some kind of hard removal way to get rid of him. In this deck, he has several more shift targets with the one-dropped Amethyst Diablo and the dual ink that came out this set as well, which is also a very pesky bird with the challenger and the evasive on it. So very, very cool deck. I like that he has the new queen in here as well, as every Sapphire deck is running that new bell. It's almost guaranteed to get that one additional lore by getting a princess out of the discard and onto the bottom of your deck. But yeah, very cool deck. Something that, as I try to land on a deck that I want to play this set, which we're almost halfway through it, and I still don't know what I want to land on. This is one that's been catching my eye quite a bit, and Jimmy did very, very well with it on this past Sunday. I also want to note that Mitchell did 3-0 with it. Sapphire Steel deck, but I could not get a hold of him to get a copy of his deck list for this video. But shout out to Mitchell. I had to play him that day, and he just absolutely mollywopped me. This was pre Hiram ban. Hiram and Fortisphere got banned on Tuesday. This was Sunday afternoon. So little did they know, the Sapphire Steel players know that a reckoning was coming to their deck. So anyway, this was Jimmy. Congratulations to him and Mitchell, and we'll move on to Monday night. All right, this is our second deck of the day. Over at Impact Gaming Center on the Illinois side, we had a Sapphire Steel deck that was 3-0 going into the final round. This is Aiden, who was going to play his dad, who was actually on probably the same deck we just saw from Jimmy. He told me it was an Amethyst Emerald discard deck that had already beaten 3 Sapphire Steel decks on the night. So this would have been the 4th, and he said that confidently. We don't know if Aiden would have beaten him or not, but sounds like he had quite the hill to climb after 3 Sapphire Steel decks getting defeated by Jared. But they decided not to play the final game, but I wanted to share one of the 2 decks, and we opted to choose Aiden's because I like showcasing the kids who are enjoying this game as well. We'll see here, this is a Moyen deck from the LCCs that are happening right now online. And the biggest thing that we could notice here is the only difference is that, one, pre-ban, they still have the Hirams and the Fortispheres in here, which did so much work getting that bell out. Nuking the Fortisphere just decreases the chances of Bell coming out freely on 1-2, right? So that's going to be a change that they're going to have to look into. But one notable change pre-ban, Jared told me, was that they added 2 Talas for 2 Scrooge McDucks. So it might be an issue of not having enough Scrooges, or maybe they just wanted to have Tala in the game for a little bit more variance as well. So but yeah, very successful on the night by Aiden. I hope that he succeeds in finding some replacements for Hiram and the Fortisphere, because I heard he's very upset about the changes. But unfortunately, it's something that I think the game absolutely needed. But we're not here to talk about my opinion. We're here to talk about how well he did Monday night with this deck. So congratulations to Aiden, and we hope to see you again here next week. All right, moving on to Tuesday at the Collector Store, we have Rudros at the top of the list with his Ruby Amethyst, his favorite deck. He decided, you know what? This is a day of infamy in Disney Lorcana in which 2 very powerful cards have been banned for the first time. and Hiram Flaversham and Fortisphere. I believe he said in one of his videos, in my conversation with him as well, that they decided to go ahead and let people play with them that night because it was the day of. I don't know if he was in any decks. Doesn't matter. Travis went 3-0 on the night. I know he played a Diggy deck. I think he maybe played a Blurple, and then he played a Ruby Sapphire without Hiram, I believe, because I believe Justin was probably practicing. Well, this is how it's got to be now. But yeah, Travis ended up at the top of the list with what we see here. This Ruby Amethyst deck. He's utilizing the Queen. I know that he's moved up from one because he's been on this meta report before with only one Queen. It looks like he's moved up to two. And as I said with Jimmy's deck, I really like this card. You're gonna get the value out of this Queen no matter what. If you can play her after Be Prepared too, that discard is just full of cards that you can shuffle underneath that deck for 3 lore, hopefully 4 if there's princesses in there, and a lot of decks are going to have that princess tag. Little interesting thing here, he's got one Lady Tremaine for that follow up after the Be Prepared. If they can only play one card, that's a classic Ruby Amethyst move. And he's playing the Dragonfire. I'm glad to see those come back. For a while, Dragonfire just didn't see play, but it looks like it's coming back in a big way now. I know there's been a lot of 1-ofs or 2-ofs in some fringe decks here, but I think 2 is a good number for a good solid removal. Get rid of any character that doesn't have Ward here, and I hope he's playing his shiny DLC ones because those are such pretty cards. But he's also running the location package too, with 8 locations in the deck. You got your fairy ship, your library, and your Queen's Castle. Pick your poison, whatever works best in the scenario in which he draws them. Really good deck. The whole bounce package, everything. Good 3-0 for Travis, and really happy for him, and hope to see him again. Moving on to Thursday night, we got Blurple, baby. It is Megan at Manticore Game Shop going 3-0 with a deck that's near and dear to my heart. Anybody who knows me knows that I love Blurple. I was on it for the longest time. Played it in Seattle even. Not too successfully, but I think it has legs. I've always have. I think it has even more legs now after the ban of Hiram and Fortisphere. The biggest issue I ran into to Seattle was just getting outdrawn and them having all the answers. I think I dropped every game to Ruby Sapphire in Seattle, but that's not Megan's problem because Megan's 3-0ing at Manticore with this deck. She has the new Bell package, 4 opportunities to bring her out for free with the Popsicle. The new Queen, one of Jealous Beauty, which is a card that continually talk about in this meta report this week. It's a great card, and I think it's a great addition to this because again, princesses all over Disney Lorcana. And the only other thing that I see in here that is different from my build is How Far I'll Go. I never played that card. I never thought that I needed it. I don't know. I don't remember because it's been I'm a little bit away from Blurple in my tenure here, but How Far I'll Go was never in it. And I do like the idea of it. I don't know how impactful it was. Obviously, she 3-0'd here. I would love to talk to her to see when she's looking for that. I know the perks of How Far I'll Go will get you into your deck, see, your next couple cards, or at least one to put in your hand. And it's a draw and it's an ink, right? So you're just continually ramping as Blurple does to up to your high cost cards with your Hades and your Elsa, and then you can continually control with the bounce, which is interesting. I just now realized she does not have the snake in here. It's a really cheap bounce. One of my favorite things to do in Blurple is get up to 9 ink, play that Hades, and to just bounce them again and say, go ahead, play something else. I'm just going to put it into your inkwell. But at that cost, if you're continuing to get more ink, maybe from How Far I'll Go, you can bounce it with the Fox. So, yeah, obviously she had no problems here. She's got the shift line with the bell as well. Could possibly sing How Far I'll Go even earlier. Yeah, congrats to Megan. Looking forward to see how Blurple evolves throughout the rest of this meta. Right, moving on to Bodach on Thursday nights, we have Smoochie, Kenny with Calhoun, who playing Amethyst Steel. You'll notice, of course, by title alone, there's no Calhoun in this deck, who has been pivotal in basically any steel deck for quite a while. But this looks really spicy. Running the 1-drop Maleficent again is just I love that. I was sneaking that into my Blurple a little bit at the end of last set just because I love that card, and my friend got me the playmat to play on even because it's such a beautiful card. And but I digress. Let's talk about this deck. It looks really, really fun. Low to the ground, 3-0 at Bodach with this. No Calhoun, and he replaced it with a Helga Sinclair, which, from what I understand and the talks around the community, is now the steel answer to Diablo. A 2-cost uninkable Challenger 3, and during your turn, it gains evasive with a 4 body as well. So she sticks around a little bit as well. So finding her, dealing with Diablo, um, really, really good answer, I think. And then of course you got the classic that always be. I don't know how they ever get Smee out of the 2 spot for Steel. He's just such a good card and synergizes so much with a bunch of different people like Cogsworth and Sapphire, Rapunzel in or any healing in Steel. Neither of those here. Let's look at the rest of the deck. The new Giant Cobra has been a lot of fun. I've played that in my Jafar wheel. There's no way to stop it, right? You play that card, you discard. I guess the only way to stop it is have your opponent discard you down to not have any cards in your hand. But essentially, you play that Giant Cobra and you have some kind of fodder to discard for an additional to lore. I talked to Kenny by proxy through our friend Steven, who is his friend. Kenny's from Atlanta. He's visiting Steven and got to play at Bodach. So I hope everybody there, I didn't get to make it there that night, but I hope everybody there welcomed him greatly. I did talk to him a little bit, and he said that the one change he might make is Lawrence for Benja, or Benja for Lawrence. He has Benja in his deck currently, but I was kind of on the fence of like, I don't know if that's a great trade. I'd maybe bring Benja down a little bit because he is a 2-quester, as is Lawrence, but he does spike an item, and you're not getting any healing synergy for the Lawrence, which is great in Steel Song. So that's, I guess, user preference there, whatever you want to do. But that was the one change he was thinking about making. I just wanted to kind of bring that up here in the video and going through the rest of the video. He tops out at 4 ink. Like, this deck is not looking to go past 4 ink. He might go 1 or 2 just to play more characters, but he's just playing as many as he can, as fast as he can, and then getting that lore quickly. He's got the goat for instant lore. He's got the white rose for instant lore, the giant cobra that we talked about. Everything just looks like it's fast. We've seen versions of this on this video series in the past. I think the very first one I did was Jimmy playing a Speci-like deck the first week at Grapes. But very fast deck and very successful too. So congratulations to Kenny. All right, our final 3-0 of the night is Dylan at the collector store. Mr. Friday Night strikes again. No Hiram, no Fortisphere, no problem. He took this ban and said, I don't care. I know what I'm doing with this deck, as we've seen in the weeks past, and knocked it out of the park again this week. I talked to him. He said his 3 games were Ruby Steel Challenge, which is making its way up. It looks like a really fun deck. I've had some practice games with Travis, who we talked about just a little bit ago. Seeing that on the up and up is pretty cool. Megan on Purple Steel, Amethyst Steel, who we just talked about on the Blurple. Wonder why she jumped off of that with the success that she just had the night before, but we like variety. And this last game was Hunter on Emerald Amethyst, probably the birds. I don't know the details, but makes sense. All 3 really, really good competitors, really good games he probably had there. And Sapphire Steel still finds a way. So congratulations to Dylan. The changes that I can remember, I didn't ask him specifically what he changed, nor do I remember every iteration of his deck. He probably upped the crab count, maybe Cogsworth as well. But yeah, everything here looks good, has everything he needs. He has the draw power from Maurice's workshop, and from games in the past, I've seen him cycling through that. It looks like Grandma Tala probably was actually the new addition to the deck. So again, congratulations to him. He is still Mr. Friday Night here in St. Louis. And that's going to close out the 3-0s of the week. But I am going to leave you with one final deck from Villain Andy here at the Rules of Villainy podcast, who went 2-1 with this deck at Bodach on Thursday night and claims to be the spiciest Blurple deck you'll ever see. He put this deck together on the spot to play after a poll on our Discord, which I will link below in the closure of this video. Go through the whole rigmarole of our socials, but to fulfill his promise, he played this Blurple deck that he put together on the spot with a lot of spice in it. He has the Peter Pan package between the evasive and the rush, countering, not countering, but synergizing with one another. He added some Windy Darlings, a really spicy genie that allows you to shuffle in to the deck and draw 3. I think that's an inspired choice from what was once a considered just why would you ever play that over rabbit, right? But it seems like it could have some legs in what the meta is shaping up to be in a Diablo heavy discard meta, right? So draw 3 for yourself is actually pretty cool. It's not brawlable. It can be with the Sapphire Coil, but we'll see how that plays out in the future if he continues to run it. Of course, he's got the Queen in there. He's got a 1 of the Bell. All great. One other thing I wanted to point out though was he's not running the big Elsa, which I said previously. If you're running Blurple without the big Elsa, I'm not sure why, but he does have a card that I actually really like and I think about quite a bit. The falling down the rabbit hole, where each player chooses one of their characters and puts them in their inkwell face down and exerted. So it's a little bit of Sapphire removal. It's a hard action, 4-cost uninkable, and it affects both players. But if there's only one player on the board, Sapphire has the removal that it needs to do that. But then you also have your Let It Go there as well. So uh, fun deck. I'm curious to see how it feels. Obviously, he did well with the 2-1, only losing to Kenny, who we talked about a little bit earlier. And yeah, let me know what you think of this deck and any of the other decks that you saw today in this week's meta report. As always, I appreciate you watching. I do this because I enjoy doing it. I want to showcase the great community we have here and how well they do with the constructed decks that they have and some of the fun decks and ones like this, right? Like it did well, and it's a non-traditional blurple for the most part. It is, but it's got a lot of spice in it and performs well. And what I like to say on these videos and anywhere in general where we talk about playing Lorcana is play what you love. And Andy definitely put some spice in here, made it work, and I hope that all of you can do that with these kind of decks as well. So if you like these kind of videos, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. As Andy said on the most recent episode of the podcast, we're getting into a lot more content than just the podcast here on the YouTube channel. So there will be times where we forget to promote some of the things that we've done, and ringing that bell will just let you know whenever anything gets uploaded here, and it just helps with our metrics and everything. And we just appreciate every view and everything that we get from you guys, because again, we love doing this and we hope that you love it too. If you want to find us on the socials, you can find us at Rules of Villainy on basically all of the socials, and in the Discord link below. We are one shy of 100 members on our podcast Discord, and we're really excited about it. So we'd like to see you join there, join in on the conversations, and be a part of all the fun here that we're having. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.